Thank you, Program Director Ntata Mashale, for the warm welcome. And all your protocols have been noted. Dumelang, Sanbonani, Abshane, Goeiemorgen, and all other salutations considered. If I did not incorporate you there, we can offline. Ntate Njoro, where are you? Thank you so much for blessing this gathering and for lifting our spirits so early in the morning. As the program director said, many of us here siyakowisha. If any of you have been privy to some of the discussions around the budget, the national budget and the provincial budget, you can see even South Africa Inc. iyakowisha. So thank you for that, Ntate Njoro. I think we could all do with some upliftment. To the hosts, African Farming and AFGRI, the sponsors who have made this event possible, all dignitaries in attendance and representatives of organized agriculture, to the fellow delegates and farmers and residents of Gauteng present here today. It is my pleasure indeed to welcome you today on behalf of the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development to the 2025 African Farming Agri-Development Imbizo. And thank you, Program Director, for reminding us what the purpose of an Imbizo is. An Imbizo is not supposed to be a one-way interaction. It is a forum for engagement. It is a forum for the industry or the community to raise their issues, to raise their voices. Yesterday, I actually attended another Imbizo hosted by the Premier. I'm sure some of you might have seen or heard about that Imbizo that took place in Soshanguve, relating to some of the incidents of crime that have taken place in that area recently. And you know, it really is just a sobering moment to reflect on the many difficulties that are being faced by communities all over our province. But one of the issues that kept coming up in the many challenges that were being raised, where people were highlighting the fact that they are hungry and they are struggling with basic issues around food and access to food. And so I hope that as we continue our deliberations over the next 2 days, we remember that although we may be in this beautiful venue, air-conditioned and lovely, and there's lots of food available to us, that there are many, many millions who are counting on us to help drive food security in our province and provide for the many, many millions of the residents of Gauteng who today are going without a meal. That is why we are here, to ensure that we continue and retain our country's food security and sovereignty. Agriculture is the foundation of civilization and the key to national stability. Now, these are the words that were spoken by one Norman Borlaug, the father of the Green Revolution, and a Nobel Prize winner, whose groundbreaking work transformed agriculture. Borlaug's development of high-yield crop varieties revolutionized food production, saving over 1 billion people from starvation and ensuring food security for millions more. The 25th of March, 2 days ago, would have marked his 111th birthday. And we honor his legacy, not just by remembering him and his teachings, but by continuing the fight to advance agriculture and end hunger. Borlaug's message was clear. Agriculture is not merely about planting seeds. It is about building nations, driving economies, and securing our collective future. So as we reflect on this wisdom, we must recognize that South African agriculture stands at a pivotal crossroads. The recent geopolitical shifts have intensified global scrutiny of our sector. In a world where the saying goes, there are no permanent friends or enemies, only permanent interests. This now rings truer than ever. And as South Africa, we must ask ourselves, what are our interests? And who amongst us is committed to building this nation? And how, most importantly, can we unite to achieving growth, productivity, and sovereignty? We have seen other nations openly declare their eagerness to welcome our farmers onto their shores, seeking to divide us and tarnish our global image, whilst simultaneously influencing our domestic policy. But let me be unequivocal. South Africa's agricultural future will be written right here on South African soil. The prosperity of this sector and the strength of our nation's food security will depend entirely on how we choose to move forward and how we move forward together. For too long, our sector, the agricultural sector, has been highly divided, with limited collaboration between smallholder and commercial farmers. With the proliferation of technology, AI, and precision agriculture, this divide is only growing. In the words of the esteemed agri-economist Wandile Sihlobo, we are and we remain a country of two agricultures. This disconnect stifles growth, innovation, and the exchange of vital knowledge. And most pertinently, it hampers food security. The truth is that the key to unlocking South Africa's agricultural potential lies in a coordinated, unified approach to growing this sector. One that embraces diversity, fosters collaboration, and ensures that every farmer, regardless of their background, is empowered to continue contributing to our shared goals. The future of South African agriculture demands nothing less than our collective effort, our determination, and our vision. So the changing geopolitical climate demands that we forge stronger bonds as the South African agricultural community. Bonds of unity, bonds of collaboration and shared purpose. In this moment of uncertainty, we must recognize what unites us. The urgent need to ensure that no South African goes to bed hungry. Today, as we speak, 1 in 5 households in our country face food insecurity. If you look at your tables, many of you are sitting 5 or 6 at a table. One of you, effectively, is not guaranteed a meal a day. Now, this is not merely a statistic. It is a reflection of families who are engaged in the constant struggle to just put food and meals on the table. And it's a complex challenge, as we know. Food insecurity is not just about poverty. It's about the availability of food. It's about the affordability of food and the accessibility thereof. Yet, at its core, it is and should be named a crisis. It's a crisis of epic proportions and must be treated with the seriousness and urgency that it deserves. And this crisis can only be addressed by the people in this room. And it underscores the essential role that farmers have to play in securing our nation's future. And everyone has a role to play. Starting with ourselves as government, we must ensure that there are no structural or legislative barriers to participating in the agricultural sector. We must ensure that the regulatory environment is conducive to growth and entrepreneurship. We must kill and end red tape in our sector. But this cross is not ours alone to bear. The organizations and stakeholders in this room also have a critical role to play, not merely as participants and spectators in this industry, but as agents of the necessary reform and change that is needed in our industry. Our efforts must be guided by a collective ambition to build a united, forward-looking agricultural sector that serves all South Africans. To the hosts and organizations in this room, AFGRI, African Farming, Landbou, the ARC, BFAB, Land Bank and PepsiCo, the red meat industry, Corteva, FarmSol, and all other organizations present. Let us join hands in leading this industry and growing the Gauteng agricultural sector and the South African agricultural sector at large. Farmers are the cornerstone of our efforts in building a food-secure South Africa. And without their dedication, innovation, and resilience, our ambition to eradicate hunger cannot succeed. To achieve this, we must go beyond the ordinary. We must commit and continue to being exceptional in how we pursue our goals. Farmers with the expertise and the experience to lead must take the initiative by guiding and developing those who need support. Each one, bring one. Lift as you rise. Knowledge must be shared, and cultivating the agricultural leaders of the future must be a core principle of our strategy. I'm encouraged to see young people in this room, students of agriculture, and those who are looking to lead this sector into the future. It's encouraging to know that the future of this sector is in safe hands. So to the farmers in this room, your mission is clear. The time is now to adopt smarter practices, embrace mechanization, and ensure that every one of your decisions aligns and enhances our national objectives, which is to create sustainable jobs and grow the economy of Gauteng, and by extension, South Africa, because Gauteng is the economic engine of South Africa. We have everything we need to achieve extraordinary success in agriculture. We have advanced technology, sophisticated infrastructure, and a wealth of expertise, notwithstanding the fact that we are also home to many of the leading agricultural institutions and organizations, academic institutions, as well as diplomatic missions, many of whom are based right here in Tshwane. Nothing holds us back from achieving greatness in agriculture. The only thing that can stand in our way is a lack of unity and a lack of coherence in our strategy, and an unwillingness to collaborate to reach our common goals. If you take Egypt, for example, as the largest wheat producer in Africa, Egypt produces an average of 9.07 million metric tons of wheat annually. Now, despite facing its own challenges, Egypt has built a strategy that combines innovation, technology, and a commitment to agricultural growth. South Africa, with its advanced technology, has everything it needs to succeed. But the inability to mechanize at scale and optimize our resources is holding us back and we must overcome this challenge. In Gauteng, size does not define success. Efficiency, productivity, and capability do. We must maximize the potential of every hectare of land that we farm, and we must utilize the wealth of knowledge and resources available to us. Our province stands at the nexus of agricultural innovation, poised to become a global leader in agro-processing. Gauteng's unparalleled manufacturing capacity on the African continent gives us a unique edge that no other province can match currently. We don't just grow food, we add value. And it is also in Gauteng where the largest fresh produce markets in the SADC region exist, supplying fresh produce to many of our neighboring countries. We process, we package, we sell, and we deliver high-quality products that reach markets far beyond our borders. Gauteng is the home of agro-processing, and that is no coincidence. Our farmers, manufacturers, and agribusinesses lead the charge, with 35% of all agro-processing in the African continent done right here in Gauteng. You can give yourselves a round of applause. That is quite significant. And that is why we are also taking deliberate steps to secure the future of Gauteng's agricultural sector. Next week, we will be participating in the Gauteng Investment Summit, hosted by the Gauteng Provincial Government under the Department of Economic Development, which seeks to attract investors and pledges from all over the world, and will also reveal some of the key projects and investments currently being driven in our province. As the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, we will also, later this year, be hosting our own very first agro-processing summit and trade show. And this is a vital platform for attracting investment, opening up new value chain opportunities, and strengthening the partnerships that drive innovation. We are committed to connecting our farmers and micro-processors to local and global markets, opening up new export channels and expanding Gauteng's footprint in the global agricultural space, starting with deepening our footprint on the African continent. A key initiative in this effort is the Made in GP campaign, which aims to platform the produce that is grown and agro-processed right here in Gauteng. Now, this program will connect our farmers and producers to new markets, ensuring that Gauteng products reach every corner of South Africa and beyond. We have already signed agreements with the Hunan province in China to export agro-processed goods from Gauteng, laying the groundwork for broader international trade and partnerships. And as we continue to strengthen partnerships and build a more inclusive growth strategy, we are also committed to uplifting our smallholder farmers and SMMEs in the sector. By providing tools, resource, and the necessary market access, we can ensure that Gauteng's growth benefits all, not just a select few. Through initiatives like community farmers markets, we are opening new economic opportunities at a local level and making fresh, locally grown food more accessible to communities all over Gauteng. People must work, play, live, and eat in their communities where they are. South Africa's agricultural sector cannot thrive on good intentions alone. It requires vision, collaboration, and decisive action. So our commitment to both smallholder and commercial farmers is clear. We are looking to invest in both, providing the support necessary for growth and success. And Gauteng has the potential to lead, not just within South Africa, but on the global stage. In November, as you know, our province will host the G20 summit, a powerful opportunity to showcase our agricultural innovation, the strength of our agro-processing sector, and the vast potential of our farmers. Ladies and gentlemen, it cannot be business as usual. As the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, we have just concluded our medium-term strategy, which takes us to 2029. And our theme for the period is shifting the needle. Shifting the needle. This means rethinking the ways in which we ourselves participate in and contribute meaningfully to the sector. We are shifting our focus to prioritize impact and output, adopting a data-driven approach to how we provide support and how we measure our impact. What this means is that we want to work with bona fide businesses and farming enterprises that are equally committed to growing our economy and creating sustainable jobs in our sector. We are not just positioning Gauteng as a leader in South Africa, but as a leader in global agriculture. As a nation, we stand at a critical juncture in our development, and the way forward must be clear. South Africa's agricultural potential is vast, but it has been hindered by fragmentation, sometimes inefficiency, and divisions. To unlock this potential, we must focus on three crucial pillars, innovation, mechanization, and unity. Mechanization is not optional. It's essential for us to drive productivity, reduce costs, and ensure our competitiveness on the global stage. But we must make sure that technology is available and accessible to all. Even more than that, it is a catalyst for the vital transformation and reform of our industries. Every farmer, regardless of size, must have access to the tools, the technology, and the knowledge necessary to thrive. But mechanization and technology alone is not enough. The true strength of South Africa's agriculture lies in our ability to unite and walk this journey collectively. We must collaborate across all sectors and move towards shared goals. Government, the farming industry, businesses, and civil society all have a role to play. And only through integration can we create an agricultural sector that supports all South Africans, from smallholders to large-scale producers, and drives sustainable economic growth. This is why also one of our core strategic levers as GDAD is aggregation. We believe in the power of massive small. Through aggregating the produce that is grown by small-scale farmers all over Gauteng and uniting around a common strategy and mission, we can catalyze our agricultural sector and ensure that the benefits thereof accrue to all. And so we are bold and we are decisive and we are seeking to do things differently and, most importantly, to shift the needle. So to the delegates of this conference, over the next 2 days, my request to you is let us be deliberate about forging new connections and relationships. Let us be deliberate about exchanging ideas and learning from each other and from the vast expertise in this room and the many speakers that you will be exposed to over the next 2 days. This is necessary for the journey of strengthening and reforming our industry. As custodians of this land, it is up to us to make it work. No one is coming to save us. Let us unite in our pursuit of excellence. And in doing so, let us bring about a future that is not only prosperous, but sustainable, equitable, and just for all South Africans. And together, we will achieve what the many naysayers once thought was impossible. I thank you.